think about what he just said there. He said, the CEO makes all the money because they're taking all the risk. Okay, so they make more money than the employees. That's what he just said. Okay, look, I'll run it back real quick. Hold on.
Now, the crazy thing is, and this is going to be a really hot take for you, the reason why the CEOs make a lot more money is because when they build a business, they take all the risk. If the business fails, they're left with absolutely nothing.
They're left with absolutely nothing. Okay. This is incorrect because CEOs do not build the business. CEOs are employees. Okay? CEOs are the highest paid employees in a company, typically. Okay? They're like the top dog, but they still make a salary. You know, they're still a salaried employee. You understand? They're not a owner. Okay? So they're not even, like, I still think that the whole, like, risk-taking thing is bullshit, obviously. Obviously, I feel that way. Because at the end of the day, the capitalist isn't really taking a risk. Okay? Not really. They're exploiting their workers, okay? And then, when it comes time to sell, they make out like bandits. Let's watch this now.
These are ICE agents stopped from doing their job in New York City because the mob, as in my opinion supported by the new mayor-elect of New York City, a radical Muslim leftist, but to no one's surprise, they have mobilized the people to stop ICE from doing their duty and arresting illegals. Now, if you know me, you know my opinion.
Damn.
Every single person participating in this protest is obstructing.
So you mean they're not letting the federal agents do illegal things? That's so crazy. That's so crazy. How dare they?
This is not peaceful protesting. This is not protected by the First Amendment. This is direct obstruction of justice, and I think they all need to go to jail. The good news is, some of them did. In fact, they are directly gloating over the fact that they are breaking the law in broad daylight.
I'm currently on the corner of Howard Center, where hundreds of people gathered earlier today to block a massive planned raid by ICE agents. They were going to, according to sources, have 600 agents flood the streets.
Sources, and it turns out, in my opinion, allegedly, this is not real. This is just my conspiracy theory. There's no way that the source isn't someone that's working in the government, all right? It's really obvious that the government actually has leaks, and this is treasonous. Again, they are fighting against the national interest of our country. Remember, Donald Trump, President of the United States, President of the entire United States, all of the states, was elected on the mandate for mass deportations. And even if he wasn't, he has the authority to do it. But he also was. These people are anti-democracy in every feasible way, and, well, obviously, the mayor of New York is kind of letting this fly, much to everyone's surprise.
Of New York City, specifically targeting vendors on Canal Street. Somehow,
the vendors are illegal scammers, right? Trust a liberal white woman every single time to have empathy for the illegal invader scammer that is A, taking money from us taxpayers, and B, scamming people, residents, as well as mostly tourists, by not giving them knockoff artifacts.
How are they taking money from the taxpayer? How are they doing? They're doing that. They're doing that. They are taking your money. All right, man. All right.
And gifts.
Sure.
Also ruining the businesses of the actual store owners, because why would you go to a store and pay $5 if you could only pay $3 and buy a knockoff copyrighted version of it on the street? Welcome to liberal white woman empathy. They will murder their own babies, but don't worry, because they will run defense for the Nigerian Muslim radical scammer that says death to America on the sidewalk.
Word got out and people caught wind, and they gathered here at this parking garage, which is controlled by the federal government, which is currently filled with ICE vehicles.
Obstruction of justice, they'll need to go to jail.
And stopped vehicles from being able to enter and from being able to exit. There are
this is an insurrection against the United States.
Unknown number, at least 20 who were observed.
Every single person in this riot, in my opinion, is doing a worse crime than the people that were actually at the January 6th protest that everyone is freaking out about. They are directly stopping ICE agents from doing their legal duty of deporting illegals, especially scammers, bro.
ICE agents currently stuck inside their own parking garage as people continue to blockade and protest.
I wonder why the mayor isn't saying anything about this. They're literally all breaking the law. Maybe the mayor has a different law set that he cares about.
NYPD made
Yeah, he does. The New York law. Right? The law of fucking New York City and the state of New York. Okay? The local municipality. Because if you didn't know, what ICE is doing in other states is illegal in New York. They are not allowed to do it in New York. That is what New York has done. Okay, that's what their state legislators have passed. Take it up with them.
Several arrests of people who were blocking the streets or in the roadway or irritating them. And those people are, to my understanding, are all at One Police Plaza. They will probably be charged with misdemeanors for obstruction, being in the roadway, failure to disperse, things of that nature. ICE, I'm told.
Yeah, obviously not enough. Charge them for insurrection. Charge them for insurrecting against the government. That'll show a few of them. I don't know, man. I'm a very simple man. I'm a very, very simple man. Very simple, actually. And I fully believe that we actually need to punish criminals, or else more people are just going to do crime. We need to deport these millions of people. These people are stopping us from doing our duty. They're terrorists, as far as I'm concerned. I don't care.
Was blockaded all the way to the Lincoln Tunnel. Obstructions were plentiful, and New Yorkers were enthusiastic in their vigor to see ICE out of New York.
Great. So there's an entire inbred population in New York that is galvanizing the people, the radical leftoids that are going to colleges to get brainwashed and lobotomized by their college teachers in order to fight back against the United States government's legal right to deport people that invaded our country illegally and are parasites on the system. Nux, they're people. No people are illegal. Yes, some people are. But Nux, they're people. You can't call them parasites. What do you want me to call them? They're literally sucking our blood and giving us nothing in return. They are definitionally parasites. Moral of the story.
They are poisoning the lifeblood of the
nation.
nation.
Unless it's actually vetted for a degree that you specifically want them to have, or they might turn out like this and end up in jail at some point. Just, you don't understand what Trump is doing. Trump is going to start cracking down, and if he doesn't, Vance will when he's 48. When he's the 48th president. This is the New York State Senator Julia Salazar saying, "Grateful to all the New Yorkers who quickly mobilized, put their safety on the line, protected their immigrant neighbors against ICE's expected raids." I want to tell you something. They weren't defending their immigrant neighbors because ICE wasn't going after their immigrant neighbors. ICE was going after illegal invaders into our country. They sent the clear message to the mass ICE agents hiding in the garage, get out of our city. Very brave that they are making a threat against law enforcement for doing their legal duty. In my opinion, this is a United States Senator. Perfect. Perfect. Jailer. Literally put her in jail. No one is above the law. Every time I think of this, I think of the Trump mugshot when they tried to put him in jail forever. I don't care. I think that all these people need to get charged for obstruction of justice. At the very least, maybe even insurrection. But Nux, you're going to support Trump going after his political opponents? First of all, yes. Second of all, she's not his political opponent. She's a fucking peon criminal, a petty criminal that needs to go to jail. And then maybe other petty criminals will actually realize that you can't actually do that shit either. I wish Trump was a little heavier-handed with this. I'm not going to lie. Now, we have to talk about Zohran Mamdani before we talk about the actual raids and the violence that happened on New York streets. We're going to be talking about that, of course. But Zohran Mamdani, mayor-elect of New York City, tweeted this after the tragic terrorist attack where 2 National Guard were shot in Washington, D.C. by an Afghanistan radical Muslim. Yeah. I'm devastated to learn the passing of Specialist Sarah Beckstrom, a member of West Virginia's National Guard. She was 20 years old. Families across the nation come together to celebrate Thanksgiving. Let's take a moment to
A radical Muslim.
plunge into unimaginable grief. The passing? How did she pass? Zohran, you want to condemn radical Islamic terrorism? Maybe. I don't know. It happens a lot. Maybe you would condemn it. I mean, you didn't condemn 9/11. You condemned what America did in response to 9/11, but you never condemned 9/11. Maybe you condemn this. You're a mayor now. You think that you would actually...
You love 9/11. You love 9/11 Zohran Mamdani. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. He loves 9/11. He doesn't think that those National Guardsmen were murdered. That's why he said, they passed. Yeah. Great takes, Nuxanor. Great takes.
Terrorist attack. No, the passing. The passing is what you say when it turns out your friend's
The
grandfather
passing.
suffered a cardiac arrest. That's the passing. When you're talking to someone whose husband died in the military, you say, "I'm sorry for your passing." You don't say, "I'm sorry for the passing of someone" when they're killed by a radical Islamist terrorist on our streets that you run defense for and that essentially you want to import more of.
Huh?
No, this is insane. Am I the only one that thinks...
Okay, I do understand what he's saying, but like what? How is that an argument? Like the military thing, like, wouldn't that actually, like, defeat your argument, right? Because they're not supposed to say that, oh, your husband passed in the line of duty, like, or what? I mean, they do say that, but, like, of course they do. It's just a nice way of putting it. Okay, it's a softer way of saying that they were murdered, that they were killed. Okay, and it's, like, excusable there, but not here? Why?
The answer is no. Everyone's freaking out. He's saying, "I condemn Islamic terrorism," but he doesn't. Why would he say it? He supports Islamic terrorism. In fact, a lot of you might not know this, but I did a deep dive on Zohran. He used to have a rap career where he would rap about how much he liked the Holy Land 5, which is an actual Hamas group, like an actual terror group. But again, that's my guy. He's been saying globalize the Intifada. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Intifada has been globalized. Now, Zohran Mamdani, it's not that he doesn't use the word killing.
You're goddamn right about that.
In the context of traffic violence, has killed 217 New Yorkers this year. This epidemic. All right, so when it comes to car accidents, he'll call it traffic violence that kills people. When it's Islamic terrorism, it's, "I'm sorry about the passing of that person." Pretty insane. So, this is one video that he posted on Twitter since that.
It might be November, but I'm still saying yes to your donations.
Give me more money. He has made a dozen videos that he's posting everywhere begging for money because, again, he's a communist Islamist. What he essentially wants is rich people, or, middle-class people, because that's honestly what he was gunning for, rich and middle-class people to infinitely fund the Muslims that he is importing into New York and literally running defense for and protecting against law enforcement that wants to arrest them for invading our country. So you need more donations for that, obviously.
So head to transition2025.com, pitch in whatever you can. Let's win a city that everyone can afford.
Everyone can afford, especially, poor people that are specifically of a specific ethnic background and religious perspective, probably. Now, again, he released this. This is pretty funny for a different reason.
There's a lot of things that make New York City special. For me, it's the delis and bodegas. Habibi, could I get an egg and cheese on a roll with jalapeno?
The funny thing is, like, New York is known for, like, the egg and cheese special, but it's egg, ham, and cheese. For some reason, I can't put my finger on it, he didn't order the ham.
So our special coming up.
Small bacon? I don't know, I don't eat it either, but it's just pretty funny.
Because he's Muslim. Because he's Muslim. Whatever, man. You don't eat it either. You don't eat fucking ham. It's a dirty animal. Pig is a dirty animal. Yo, I fucking love bacon, man. And look, I'm not like trying to shit on anyone for their like religious dietary preferences. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. But like it's just kind of silly because like you do that too, don't you? You're like I thought you were a God-fearing Jew or whatever. You're always fucking talking about the Bible and shit. Like, don't you not eat pork? Why is it weird when he does
employ
it?
nearly half of all New Yorkers in the private sector. They keep the city running, but the last 4 years have been hard. We've seen
Biden! The last 4 years have been hard. What happened over the last 4 years, sir?
the dollar slice go extinct, storefront after storefront close, and had a mayor in Eric Adams who has ignored the struggle of small business.
And you think you're gonna help any of this by opening government-run...
What happened over the last 4 years in New York? Eric Adams was mayor. I have a feeling that's what he was talking about. Okay, not that Biden did that much for New York either, but at least Biden did like blanket, like union deals, right? He walked on the fucking picket line. So like, I'm not saying that benefits New York in particular, but it's just good for working class Americans. But anyway, that's obviously not what he was fucking talking about.
Grocery stores?
He's talking about Eric Adams.
First of all, he's communist. He wants government-run grocery stores. So, do you really think government-run grocery stores is going to help the small business competitors? Obviously not. You're going to destroy them.
That's why as mayor, I'm going to make it faster, easier, and cheaper for small businesses to get started and stay open. First, we're going to cut fines and fees for small businesses by 50%. Regulations are important, but small businesses have to navigate more than 6,000 of them, with far fewer resources than the big chains. That's why as mayor, I'll appoint a mom and pop czar with a clear goal of making it easier to run a small business.
Yeah, infinite things that'll make things easier, and also communist policies that will absolutely destroy the economy. Again, he's literally talking to the retards. He got the retard vote. So then he decided to post this video, because apparently posting Twitter videos is his main thing. As you can see, he is eating slop, which is, par for the course, I guess. I guess this is cultural slop. I've heard that, aside from the Islamic terrorist attacks, the food is better. All right, that's what Piers Morgan was telling me. They had Tucker Carlson has Piers Morgan. I've noticed that there's a lot of rape happening. There's like literally rape happening every hour in London. I wanted to ask you a question. Do you think that mass migration was actually good? And then Piers Morgan's like, well, actually, the food is a lot better now. Actually, in reality, the food has improved drastically. This is the food. This is the improved food. All right, so now let's see what we got.
Friends, it's chilly out there. It's chilly in here. The one thing I'm warming up to.
All right, what are you warming up to?
The idea of a fully funded transition.
Fully funded? How are you going to get the funding?
So go to transition2025.com, pitch in whatever you can. It's win a city you can afford.
This is the 12th video that he made over the last 2 weeks begging for money. Again, welcome to communism. Communism says, hey, shut up, guys. You don't need to vote for the other guys. I'm going to give you free everything. Infinite free shit from me. I just need to afford all that free shit. I just don't have any money to buy all the free shit to give you. So you have to give me money, and then I'll give you free stuff. Now, you're probably wondering why you don't just buy it directly. Because it's a grift. Because it's a giant grift to trick you. And it worked. And he won the election. So as you can see here, he's eating slop. And the reason is actually pretty simple. Hold up. Where's the fucking... I had something pretty awesome. There it is. There it is, baby. There it is. I need brown votes. I need brown votes. Him eating slop with his hands. I need white money. Him eating slop with a spoon. Wow, this is pretty crazy. This is pretty insane. I need the white people donating as he eats slop with a spoon. I need the brown people voting as he eats slop with his hands. This is absolutely diabolical. He released this, by the way, a week before he won the election. He got the slop vote. So this is one of the ICE protesters that actually got arrested. She ended up in court. And look at that smug smile on her face.
You were part of an anti-ICE protest, attacked a non-duty officer with a metal trash can who is currently in the hospital. This court sentences you to 6 months in jail and $10,000 fines for the crimes you...
Smile gone. 6 months in jail. I think it should be more. I think 6 months isn't enough. I think this person needs an asylum. You smashed an ICE officer with a trash can? Are you fucking crazy? I think every single person on these streets that's blocking ICE from doing their job should get 6 months in jail. Smashing ICE officer with a trash can? I think that should be considered attempted murder. I think that, again, obviously the courts are always going to be lax on this because this is a relatively new idea. This whole idea that you literally have a Democrat-funded and run insurrection against the government happening on all of our streets and all of our cities. I'm not trying to overwhelm you here with this information, but this is an actual Democrat official run insurrection against the government, defending people that invaded our country illegally. You have to understand exactly what we're dealing with, and honestly, I feel like no one's actually dealt with it. Now, since Zoran Mamdani won the election, there have been a lot of Muslims going up to Jews in New York, and and essentially harass them. So I actually know this because I have a Jewish friend in New York that was telling me about how often this happens. And basically, a lot of the Jews, they come up with like responses to like troll the Muslims that harass them on the streets. I know this sounds like insane because why is this fucking happening in New York City? So anyway, this video is going viral, and I think it's amazing. So the funny thing is, normally when the guy trolls the guy that's harassing them, they don't post the video because they get trolled. But here, he trolled him with so much sarcasm. The guy, the retard, actually thought it was a good idea to post this video.
I'm part of the IDF.
Why aren't you there?
Right, so this guy says I'm part of the IDF. So in case any of you was aware, this guy is not part of the IDF. A, this dude's probably not Israeli, he's American. B, he's Hasidic. The Hasidic Jews virtually never serve in the IDF. So yeah, no, he's not part of the IDF.
They include.
No, as soon as they call me, I'll be.
And I hope you get to go there.
I will.
But you don't
Why don't they do that?
Like memories from all the wrongs that you've done?
I would have.
Yes, from all the people you've killed? Have you killed people?
Yes,
You've killed people.
We constantly, all the Jews kill people.
All the Jews kill people. This dude's never seen battle. Bro was born in New York and he's gonna live in New York his whole life.
See?
Gotcha.
Hang out in any Jewish neighborhood.
Gotcha.
Hang out in any Jewish neighborhood. So this is obviously a bit of let's just say a bit of an elbow into the ribs because the Jewish neighborhoods are known throughout New York of being the lowest crime neighborhoods in the entire state. Ironically, so he's like, hang out in the Jewish neighborhoods, you'll see all the crime and all the killing, as he says to a guy that's part of the neighborhoods with the most crime in the entire state. Again, I respect the hustle.
Why are you so proud of killing Palestinian people?
No, we're not killing the Palestinians. We kill everybody. We kill Christians.
You guys killed prophets as well too in the past.
We kill everybody.
So are we gonna change that?
No,
Shouldn't we be
we're not. No, we like to kill people. We have blood on our hands. I'm part
We
of
have blood on our hands. It's amazing. I can't believe that these people are like that. This is how common random Jews getting harassed on the street of New York are. That they'll literally respond with, "Yeah, I have blood on my hands. Blood on my hands. We'll kill all the people. Kill everyone we find." That's why the Jewish communities are so violent. In the least violent communities in the entire state. I don't know. I just think it's pretty hilarious. And this clip was going super viral everywhere. I just thought it was funny in its own tragic way. So this is New York. All right. So New York City is harboring 7,169 illegal aliens in jails alone. That's aside from the people that are wandering the streets. Just in jails, there are over 7,000 illegal aliens, and we are paying for their stays. All right. You think that they're in jail, so that's a good thing? Absolutely not. They should be in super jail in El Salvador. Why do we need to fund their stay in our jail? Absolutely not. Get them out.
Are exiting the jails and going back to New York or Chicago or these other sanctuary streets to re-perpetuate their crimes. Today, in New York City's jails, are 7,169 criminal illegal aliens. We're talking about hundreds of murderers, hundreds of sexual predators, drug traffickers, the worst of the worst. Dan Goldman and these other sanctuary city politicians, they should agree to hand over those individuals.
Yeah, think about how insane this is. Like, they're defending the illegal aliens, not just the ones on the streets that aren't in jail, but they're literally defending the rapists and the murderers that are incarcerated. Over 7,000 of them that we're paying for, that we are paying for their stays. In comes Mamdani, he wants to abolish the prisons and release a majority of them. So we have to deal with them on our streets soon. Do you understand the chaos that is coming to New York? That's why I'm going to be covering the story. Definitely subscribe. Absolutely. I'll be here the entire way. But do you understand the chaos that we're dealing with?
Honor those detainers, and then we won't have to flood the zone with our ICE law enforcement. We won't have to put those men and women on the ground because we will get...
On the ground's not enough. Put them in jail. Replace the cells of the terrorists and the murderers from we're going to be deporting with the people that were stopping us from deporting them.
These vicious criminals out of New York City's jail.
Yeah, so these people want more funding. These people voted for communism. They want more government funding. Well, government is currently funding the stay and vacation in our jails for terrorists and rapists and murderers from other countries. But they're defending those guys. That's the level of retard we're dealing with. This is complete lawlessness, and we need a clampdown, man. If we don't have a clampdown, we won't have a country. Now, Stephen Miller has been on a roll. He has been cooking, all right? And Elon Musk retweeted this, saying this is what happened, it's true. And this is going mega viral.
Perfectly, Sean. This was not a loophole.
Oh, boy.
The Biden administration, Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions, and to give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections. This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party.
And every time I see the Democrats protesting, democracy, we know no kings protest, they literally ran a coup on democracy.
It's the same attack that we see, Sean, when you have California, a sanctuary state, that is refusing to turn over even illegal alien criminals and gang members to ICE. So these are illegal aliens in California who have been arrested by California police.
Right. Same with New York, by the way. Over 7,000 illegal aliens that are also, on top of the crime of breaking into the country illegally, they're also murderers and rapists and pedophiles and gang members. And those guys are the ones that they're refusing to turn over as well.
California law enforcement for serious crimes, for crimes against children, for felonies, for crimes that threaten public safety, and they are refusing to hand these criminal illegal aliens over to ICE. Instead, they're freeing them back into the cities to offend and offend again.
Because, hey, the more they offend, they don't really care. They'll just keep letting them out. No problemo.
I think that Nux Taku is really unique because of like how old school racist he is, right? And this is because he's Israeli. Okay, basically, like you have to understand that this is their culture. This is the way that they are. This is just the this Israeli moment. Okay, and please do not like confuse Israeli people with Jewish people. two very different things. Okay, Zionism, and like I've talked about that before, but I just want to make that clear because when I make sweeping statements about Israelis, that's different from talking about Jewish people, regular people. Okay, Israelis are, you know, it's a national identity. And anyway, I think Nux Taku might just be the most prominent, like, Israeli political commentator in the world. Which is kind of wild to think about. He's a fucking VTuber. Right, but that's the thing, like, Israelis can't really make it in content creation because they're too racist. Okay, they are, like, even by American standards, they are too extreme. But Nux Taku is a VTuber, so it doesn't really apply to him in the same way. You know, he doesn't show his face, nobody knows who he is, there's, like, no repercussions. And on top of that, he also walks a fine line, and he has a young, impressionable audience, which he's cultivated through his main channel, where he talks about cartoons and children's shows. But yeah, anyway, it's kind of wild, okay? I know I'm not, like, I'm not pausing, I'm not dissecting all the time. I had something stuck in my tooth, I had to get it out. But yeah, I mean, it just, it doesn't really matter, like, I can't dissect every little fucking thing he says, and he just, like, spits out one racist line after another, like he rapid fires, you know?
If you call them out, you're obviously targeting brown and black people when you say that there's more crime there, because we keep releasing the same motherfuckers again and again and again, and they will continue participating in elections.
By any definition, what California is doing is criminal. It is a violation of our laws.
True.
It is one of the most heinous things that I have seen in my...
It's honestly, though, it's the biggest scandal, in my opinion, in American political history. And it's so basically not talked about in general, except for Stephen Miller. He's the only guy that actually and Elon Musk now is retweeting this stuff. These are the only people that are actually talking about this in public. Oh, and me, but I'm just a little retarded blue guy on the internet. I don't really count for anything. I'm also shadow banned. My videos don't go out to people that aren't subscribed to the channel, so definitely check if you're subscribed. It would be really appreciated. My videos don't go out anymore. I have been designated as a threat. So anyway, this is what Zoran Mamdani was doing while there were all these raids, while there was all this shit happening on the streets. This was what Zoran Mamdani was doing at the same exact time, protesting against Starbucks CEO for making too much money because he knows absolutely nothing about the economy.
Howard Schultz? Oh no, the other guy.
And this is going to be a really hot take for you. The reason why the CEOs make a lot more money is because when they build a business, they take all the risk. If the business fails, they're left with absolutely nothing. The employee.
You're so fucking stupid. Okay. Nuxanor is, okay, so let me get, like, two things straight here before I like, talk about this. Because what he just said was so dumb, I can't help myself. Okay, I gotta pick this apart. Okay, so Nuxanor is defending capitalism here. Okay, right. That's what he's doing. And obviously I disagree with that. Okay. But not only is he, like, wrong generally, right, when it comes to defending capitalism, yeah, that's like a much longer conversation. He's specifically wrong about what a CEO does, what a CEO is. Like, he doesn't even fucking know how any of this shit works. Okay, think about what he just said there. He said the CEO makes all the money because they're taking all the risk. Okay, so they make more money than the employees. That's what he just said. Okay, look, I'll run it back real quick. Hold on.
Now, the crazy thing is, and this is going to be a really hot take for you, the reason why the CEOs make a lot more money is because when they build a business, they take all the risk. If the business fails, they're left with absolutely nothing.
They're left with absolutely nothing. Okay. This is incorrect because CEOs do not build the business. CEOs are employees. Okay? CEOs are the highest paid employees in a company, typically. Okay? They're like the top dog, but they still make a salary. You know, they're still a salaried employee. You understand? They're not an owner. Okay? So they're not even, like, I still think that the whole, like, risk-taking thing is bullshit, obviously. Obviously, I feel that way. because at the end of the day, the capitalist isn't really taking a risk. Okay, not really. They're exploiting their workers. Okay, and then when it comes time to sell, they make out like bandits. Okay, so then even if the business fails, they make money off of it. Okay, and that's how it works. But anyway, CEOs don't participate directly into that process. They just do their job. Okay, they do their fucking job, which is steering the ship of the company. You know, different companies have different responsibilities for the CEO. Now, anyway, at the same time, I want to also mention that the fact that CEOs make more than the employees under them is bullshit. It's stupid. Okay, because why do they make more money than the employees? Because they make the hard decisions. Yeah, like laying off most of their workforce, or replacing them with AI, or yada yada. Okay, they make their money by being ruthless, by being unapologetic, by being narcissistic sociopaths. Okay, that's a CEO for you.
Employees take zero risk. They just get a paycheck at the end of the month for the amount of hours they work. And you know what? Definitely less reward, definitely less risk. When the CEO of Starbucks started it, he put all of his money into Starbucks. And if the business would have failed, he would have been homeless.
What?
Right? He took that risk and,
He put all of his money into Starbucks. No, man, he got hired.
Yes, there's obviously a wealth difference. Obviously. But instead of wasting your time protesting, which ultimately won't do anything, maybe get a part-time job and invest that money in the stock market. You'll be a millionaire in a decade.
Oh yeah. Stop protesting. Stop protesting. That won't do anything. That'll never accomplish anything. You fucking asshole. And what the fuck are you doing? What are you accomplishing? I mean, he is probably making tons of money off of this bullshit, so...
I'm not even joking. Not even kidding. You put $1,000 in the stock market every single month, you will be a millionaire in a decade. But no one cares. So this is the Palestine Youth Movement in Boston. The reason why I'm showing this to you is because Zoran Mamdani...
Who can afford to put that? First of all, that's not true. Okay? Because it's like I always say. Investing in the stock market is not like investing in a small business. It's not. It can be safer, and it can also be riskier. Okay, it depends. But anyway, the stock market is like the casino. Okay, it's gambling. That's what it is. There are arguably smarter investments than stocks, but that's not even really what I want to mention, because what he just said, that you'll be a millionaire in 10 years if you invest $1,000 into the stock market, is bullshit. That's got to be bullshit. But anyway, who has because that's 12K a year, okay? And if you're making like 12% interest, right, from a mutual fund, from like 12% is really good. Okay, so if you get a really good deal, okay, and it's $12,000 a year, 12% interest, right? You get a 12% return after a decade. You wouldn't be a millionaire. I think you'd probably be at most like a bit more than $250,000, right? You'd have a few $100,000. So not quite the millionaire status that Nux hoped to achieve, but that's just off the top of my head. Okay, and that's it. Again, that's if you're getting good returns. Okay, that's if you're making fairly smart and lucky. That's like, if you make smart moves and get a little lucky, 12% is a reasonable goal. But anyway, a lot of people won't succeed on the stock market. They'll lose. Okay, so you could actually lose money from doing this. That's very possible. But at the end of the day, there ain't no way you're getting to $1 million in 10 years, investing $1,000 a month in the stock market. And think about that. Okay, nobody in this fucking country can pay $1,000 every month to their stock portfolio. The fuck? Like, half of America is living on paycheck to paycheck. How fucking out of touch can you be, man? This is crazy.
Globalize the Intifada chants. So, the Palestine Youth Movement in Boston, this is today, by the way, marched to the site of the Boston Marathon bombing, the deadliest terrorist attack on U.S. soil since 9/11, and they chanted globalize the Intifada at the memorial. Yeah, so again, this is incredibly obvious, because I speak English as well as understand that globalize the Intifada means terrorist attacks across the world, and they chant at the site of a terrorist attack.
Oh, globalize the Intifada means kill all Jews. Yeah, man, totally. That's totally what it means. Yeah, I'm going to believe that and not look any deeper into it at all. Yep.
A day or two after a terrorist
so
attack
right.
in Washington, D.C. that resulted in the murder of an innocent person or the passing of some random girl, according to Zohran Mamdani. But that's where we're at. So, yeah, that's globalize the Intifada. All right? Globalize the revolution. Intifada is Arabic for uprising. It refers to the Palestinian revolts against Israeli occupation, which is stabbing. The Intifadas involve stabbing random civilians and blowing up buses. That's what Intifada refers to. So that's what they want globally. And they're getting it, actually. So let's see what's going on in the streets of New York City. Decoy Voice made a video. Let's see what we got.
How did these New York City...
Yeah, no, don't forget. Zohran Mamdani, mayor-elect in New York, supports globalizing the Intifada. Just to understand, as they have the flag of a country that never really existed, and that they're hoisting above them, right? Because there's a pretendicide going on, and it's super important that we all have to pay attention. No one cares about the Palestinians in this entire protest, for the record. I just want to make this very clear. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Palestine is a Trojan horse for
so good faith.
Islamists to conquer the West, to basically play on your emotions, say children are dying in collateral damage because Hamas terrorists started a war that they had no chance of winning, and then use them as human shields. And because
none of them really care about Palestinians. Me, Nux Taku, I care. Okay, I'm the real arbiter of truth. I really care about human life. Yeah, man.
These children
for
dying, it's
sure.
very sad, and now all of a sudden you have no choice but to
only if you're white,
yield
though.
Before us as we import infinite retards into your countries. That's essentially what this is doing. It's an anti-West movement. It's not even a pro-Palestine movement. Because obviously nothing is going to happen with any of this. This isn't going to make any impact, especially because the war's fucking over. It's a war that they started, that they could have ended any time, that they refused to do. They refused to end it. And now it's over, and they're still doing this. Obviously, it's because it was such an effective weapon against Western civilization for the last 2 years. They don't want to give up their Trojan horse. So anyway, let's see what's going on in the streets of New York.
The anti-ICE activists go from this.
Are you ready to get trained?
Dude, it's all liberal white women. 500 New Yorkers attend a hands-off New York City training course, how they can protect their neighbors from ICE. This is just an obstruction of justice course, done in public. Every single person in this room should spend 6 months in jail. Every single one of them. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why we're not doing this. The reason is because it's too many people. But they should be hunted down like the January 6th protesters. Every single one of them is obstructing justice and needs to go to jail for 6 months or do community service or something. All right, it is insane that this guy, quite frankly, they should lose their right to vote. I think that's incredibly obvious. Anyone that partakes in obstruction of justice, literally going against the democratic process of the country, should not have voting rights. I think that's incredibly obvious. I mean, you can make the argument that they shouldn't have the right to vote for other reasons that involve the 19th Amendment, which we're not going to be talking about today, because obviously we're talking about New York, not obvious logical moves like repealing specific amendments. Not that I'm not thinking of any of it's ridiculous, just talking out loud here. But what I am saying is that all these people should be considered criminals.
The lightly getting tossed aside for blocking ICE operations.
Days.
The mass arrests in the streets
Good.
being as usual.
Mass arrests, love to hear it. Do it more. More of it, please.
Says they are stupid. As it would be one thing if every time these anti-ICE types throw one of their signature adult temper tantrums against the feds enforcing border laws, and it resulted in...
I wish it was just a temper tantrum. It is obstruction of justice. It's defending people that invaded our country illegally. It's so frustrating that they're just considered big babies, big emotional babies. They're not. They're adults that are making this decision. Yeah, it's because they're retarded, but I don't care. We shouldn't have retards on the streets.
Retreating, bringing all the illegals they were seeking, and not the reality of protesters getting prosecuted federally, ICE flooding their city with 5 times as many ICE agents as before.
That's right.
And
that's right. Send in the National Guard, send in the ICE agents, beat the shit out of the people that are stopping you from arresting them. I fully support that. I fully support that. Legally, of course. I fully support legally breaking the noses of every single person that is there. Only legally, right? As self-defense or to, actually enact the law. If their noses break, so be it. Being Jewish, I'm something of an authority on noses.
Then opening another alligator Alcatraz in their state.
That's right,
but none of those facts will stop the EBT tribes from trying again, this time out...
The EBT tribes. I mean, it's actually the unemployed forces that are coming out here, that are, like, these are the parasites of society, that are likely not citizens, likely not legal, and definitely not employed, that are flooding the streets, stopping our people from doing their job, the government from doing their job, their legal job, which is deporting people that invaded our country illegally, and then we pay them with our tax dollars. Our tax dollars goes to these retards. Like, I love how Zohran Mamdani made his entire tweet, his whole big tragic tweet. Woo, this is so sad, I can't believe it, devastated to learn of the passing. Traffic violence has killed 217 New Yorkers, this is so sad. You know what would help the traffic in New York City? getting rid of a million
Another
people
lane
in the city that aren't allowed to be there. It would literally solve all the traffic, maybe not all, but half the traffic violence would be stopped if a million people were deported. In fact, this would solve all your problems, all of them. If you actually cared about communism and making the city affordable, which you don't, it's a fake mentality. You don't actually care. You care about importing infinite retards and protecting them to democratic.
Just one, dude. It really is just one more racism. You know, it's like, come on, dude, just do one more deportation. Like, how many is it gonna take, man? 1 million more deportations. Come on, that's exactly what we need. Like, everything will be fixed if we just do one more wave of deportations. Y'all have been saying this for many waves of deportations. When is it going to get better? Things are not getting better from the deportations. Okay, I think we need to try something new, man.
Literally, the Muslim Brotherhood labeled.
Jesus.
I don't care. You can call me racist. You can't call me a liar. The Muslim Brotherhood said they want to flood our country with Muslims that will be fascist and outvote us within a month. It's working so far, to be honest. It's already working on Europe drastically, and they're trying their best to make a foothold in America. Obviously, we're not Europe, so we're not just going to decide to keel over and die. But if you actually care about making the city affordable, if you deport 1 million people, you make housing prices much cheaper. If you deport 1 million people, you make traffic violence a lot less invasive.
Yeah. It's funny how magically all of America's problems will be solved by deportations, by violently deporting immigrants. Yeah. It just so happens that every single little fucking issue that our country is facing is actually all immigrants' faults. Don't you know? You're late to work in traffic? It's 'cause blame the immigrants. You can't afford a home in the current year? Blame the immigrants. It's always the immigrants' fault, man.
4 million people, then you can actually shut down some prisons like you so badly want to. It actually solves basically and virtually all of the issues that you have running your city. But you don't care. You don't actually care about the affordability. You care about primarily importing the third world to outvote us and outbreed us.
Inside an ICE facility in NYC, again attempting to block the feds from leaving.
The third worlders will outbreed us.
It's crazy that they do this without any repercussions, man. It's crazy that you could just simply just get enough people, enough bodies, and they could just block the law enforcement from doing their duty and getting illegal invaders out of our country. Like, it sounds so insane, but this is the radical communist movement. They don't even know that they're being played like fiddles by the Islamists that are moving in, but they are. They actually are. Bro, the Islamists are the minority. Yes, of course we want communism. We support socialized healthcare for everybody, so we can also take money from the rich people, just like you want to. And then when Islam becomes the majority, the gay people will have a rude awakening. Lights out of New York! This is actually chickens for KFC protest. It's wild.
Now, eventually, the NYPD started physically removing the mob.
Queers for Palestine in real time. It's literally queers for Palestine. This is crazy. Jews for Hamas. Bro, this is what we're looking at right here. This is diabolical, man. I don't even know what we're doing. Unironically, this is like blacks for the KKK protest, where they're literally out there going after and defending their apex predator. But they don't care. They literally don't care because they just see it as taking down Western civilization. And that's ultimately why this alliance exists. You are going to have the radical Islamists as well as the radical communists come together with their joint love and appreciation, this gigantic orgy of wanting to destroy the West. And that's literally what we're seeing here. It's insane.
Arresting anybody trying to climb inside their parking garage.
They were breaking into buildings. Jail. Jail. Guys, the gay communists are booing the police officers. Shut down the country. These poor bastards. Like, these poor police officers, man. Like, they're going out there, they're putting their body on the line, and like, why do they need to put up with these retards?
Sleep with yourself. How do you sleep at night?
Excuse me. I don't understand what their plan is. Do they honestly believe once they get inside this ICE facility, they suddenly have to cease their evil operation? Once again proving that
they don't have a plan, man. They're literally drones. They're NPCs. They've been activated by a higher power.
they don't actually believe the Trump administration is
It's like, it's the craziest virtue signal ever.
disappearing people or deporting American citizens. Because if they did, the last place they would be breaking into is a federal building. As they know nobody takes them seriously, they're just using the kid gloves on them. Until they don't, as these activists started trashing their own streets.
Oh my god, I saw an image of this. And these are the climate activists, by the way.
Until the NYPD started removing the trash, as both literally the litter and figuratively the idiots. Then they try to use their bodies to block them in.
Dude, we need to bring back Florida laws. We need everywhere in America to go by Florida rule. Florida rule, for those of you asking, is you drive, and if they walk in front of your car, that's a them issue. Mace away. Mace away.
In mass.
Bro, what is
As
this
again,
chaos?
in the end, these activists have accomplished nothing but a brief inconvenience for the feds, except a massive inconvenience to anyone actually employed trying to get stuff done in the...
Oh my god, dude. imagine living in New York while this shit is happening. I'm so happy I moved down. No, it's like, it's a for real nightmare. Like, the main losers here are just the average people that are actually working. Like, you have to understand, the unemployed retards, like, the Islamists, this is the greatest thing ever for them. The communists, great, they get to protest and make believe they're LARPing as revolutionaries to fight back against the oppressive authoritarian government. But the actual people that are working, whose taxes are actually funding their country and their city, like, those guys are the ones getting screwed over. And that's why there's gonna be a mass exodus. Why put up with this? Only to get taxed into oblivion. It's like, this guy who's stuck in traffic on his way to work, this guy's getting extra taxed now because of Zohran Mamdani's tax plan to just tax people more. Just 2% more taxes, guys.
City. We need to stop this cycle of allowing unemployed idiots to hold the city hostage whenever
He's taxing rich people. He's not taxing the fucking regular people. He's just not. Okay, he's raising their taxes slightly. And anyway, our infrastructure, our welfare, our social safety nets, they are crumbling under this administration. So yeah, I think that a little higher taxes is worth it. That's just me, though.
Whenever they don't get their way with something they have almost...
Dude, they lost the election. Literally, just get over it. Oh my god. This is pathetic. This is the saddest thing in the universe. Literally, get a wife and get married. Have some babies. Or care about something important. What is this?
Zero comprehension of. As traffic in the city is bad enough, but things are about to get a whole lot worse. As a new mayor campaigned on fast and free buses, despite the fact that the governor has repeatedly refused to finance it.
I cannot set forth a plan right now that takes money out of a system that relies on the fares of the buses and the subways.
Yeah,
and
so he promised free buses, but yeah, he's not doing free buses because he can't do that, actually. It's crazy.
Mayor just pretends it'll magically happen.
How are you getting that money, the $700 million to make the buses free?
Well, he's been begging for money for the last 2 weeks. Literally every day he posts a new ad begging for money.
Into the MCA if she's not for raising taxes.
You know, I think that the two clearest ways to raise that money is through the raising of the state's corporate tax to match that in New Jersey. I think that a lot of this is still a case to be made.
But
the governor says you can't do it. Well, yeah, we'll figure it out.
That doesn't matter, as his supporters are equally ignorant.
What's your favorite Mamdani policy?
My favorite Mamdani policy is probably...
Bro, you are literally wearing Mamdani merch. There's no way you're going to hit me with the I don't know.
Free buses.
And how do we implement that?
How do we implement that?
You just don't have to pay for them.
Read through his policies, right?
You don't know the policy?
I have read it, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
Okay, have a good one.
That is, if they'll even have bus drivers left by his inauguration.
Like, who's driving the buses? Who's paying the people driving the buses? Where are you getting the money to pay the people that are driving the buses? Well, that's just paying for bus drivers, except you're screwing over the, the white communities instead.
Dude, he's been in office for like 2 seconds. What the fuck?
Refuse to get jobs to pay for their jobs, which in my opinion is retarded.
He's been in office for like 5 seconds, man.
People are lazy, okay? If you can get by without working, and you're just gonna get everything subsidized by the government, why would you work? Why would you ever contribute?
Like Trump has been in office for almost a year now. Or well, yeah, almost a year. Yeah. And people are like, oh, it hasn't been enough time yet. It hasn't been enough time yet. Meanwhile, Mamdani has been in office for 5 milliseconds. And you guys are freaking the fuck out over one bus.
You are going to have an entire generation of people going to colleges. They get degrees in liberal gay tap dancing and surprise underwater butt sex.
Underwater basket weaving.
And not contribute anything to society.
Yeah,
and still get funds from other people that are actually working. They get taxed to higher rates.
Mamdani got New York City.
Real quick.
No.
The driver just left.
No, free beef anyone wants.
The left has officially become the party of bumper sticker politics. Right phrases.
They literally are. They're the party of the retard party. So we're just going to give you free everything. We're also going to defend people that invade our country, and we're going to also give them free everything. How does that show up? We don't care. We don't care. Rich people.
They make you feel good, but bumper sticker thin implementation. And if he can't deliver on fast and free buses, New Yorkers will just have to rely on the subways. Which best case...
Bro, first, oh my god, that's a nightmare. You don't even need to worry about the subways, because you know that the moment he fails to implement his fast and free buses, you know what the first thing he's going to say is, right? The first thing he's going to say is it's Trump's fault. Trump should be giving us more money. And that's the game. That's just kick the potato down the road. They do not
Look at this rat. Look at this one rat of the subway. Look at it.
Same with opening the border, getting infinite illegals to vote for them. With states where you don't need voter ID. Same with this. Same with the free buses. You say free buses, it sounds great. The retards vote for you. You can't do it. You just blame Trump. The retard strategy. And you know what? It works. It works because, unfortunately, we have an actual lobotomized subset of the community, liberal white women especially in colleges, that are literally brainwashed with this empathetic gay beam where they look around and they're like, whoa. You're so right I should murder my own children. But also, I care desperately for the foreigners that are trying to break into our country and steal our shit.
You get a little furry travel buddy. Or worst case, a little bit waterboarded.
Or worst case, you have, criminals that have been arrested 47 times that are still... Wasn't there just someone that was lit on fire on a subway in New York? I'm pretty sure this just happened like last week. A guy with 75 past arrests lit a woman on fire. Doused her in gasoline and lit her on fire in the subway. Like, That's, I think, pretty much the worst case scenario.
In their deteriorating infrastructure, or worser case, get slashed up a bit by the psychos they refuse to lock up. And in the event you need to quickly escape, good luck.
New York City subway stations are now making it extremely difficult for anyone to use the emergency exit doors. Check us out.
Bro, what? Bro, what?
Feels slightly illegal, doesn't it? Like, what if there was an actual emergency and everyone was trying to leave the station and you couldn't even open the door?
And I actually have experience with that delayed egress lock, as it's supposed to stop anybody misusing an emergency exit, either to shoplift at a store or evade the fare on the subway. It's just sad that, again, instead of simply locking away criminals that repeatedly steal, they
It's the strategy all over again. It's like, we're not going to arrest the criminal that is stealing money from your cash register. You should just hide your cash register. It's like, all right, dude, we're cooked. We know, we get it, we're cooked. We're cooked. Like, it's insane. Why have a high-trust society, and you can just have a low-trust society, and you just get shit robbed from you? It's so much better. It's just redistributing the wealth, guys. That's right. When you get robbed, you're just redistributing the wealth to someone who probably needs it more.
lock up everybody with the criminals, as if there were a violent incident occurring in the subway. You cannot escape because of that same violent criminal you're trying to evade. But above ground isn't any better. Even in your vehicle, you're not safe.
Oh my god. What the fuck is this? Bro, I'm so fatigued, man. I have so much fatigue, it's crazy. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Like, what is this behavior? Bro, what is this behavior? This is insane.
But
that dude has no dad.
It's alright. Nobody can afford it anyways.
I just got a $600 bill in the mail from the congestion toll pricing from driving in New York. I've been driving.
You know what would help congestion toll pricing? Congestion is when there's a lot of traffic. You know what would help? Deporting 1 million illegal people in the city. That would help a lot, actually.
In the city.
And you know what? You probably voted for Zohran Mamdani, so literally fuck you, I don't care.
For years, at least 5-6 years, and I refuse to take public transportation because I've been assaulted twice on public transportation.
It's okay. Zohran Mamdani is the party of rape. You might not be aware of this, but he wants to import the rapists. So he is the party of rape. Nux, you're being so racist against the immigrants that they're rapists. Not all immigrants are rapists. Just some cultures that he literally wants to import where rape is legal. Like, for example, there's Somalians that are coming in. Somalia, rape was legal in Somalia 5 years ago. Domestic abuse is illegal in basically all of the stands. You know, Afghanistan, Pakistan, all the stands. Domestic abuse is legal. You're gonna tell me that that's not the rape party? The rape party is the party that wants to import the rapists. All right. Statistically, that's happening. Did you know that 99.3% of women in Egypt claimed that they were raped? 99.3? That's a real statistic? A real actual statistic? So you tell me that I'm racist when I don't want to live in a community where they import 10,000 Egyptians. Bro, they're not gonna leave the rape in Egypt. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude here. Just being obvious for a second.
There just has to be a solution to this. Like, I can't.
Deporting 1 million people would help.
It's real. It's real. It's happening.
Yeah, arresting the criminals that are violent, and deporting 1 million illegals, you will have paradise, actual paradise in New York City.
It's not safe. I can't take. I'm not going on there. Like, no.
The social fabric of the city is all breaking down
I bet
simultaneously.
she voted for Zohran Mamdani anyway.
But if the incoming mayor can't even deliver on fast or free buses, what is he doing? Well, the moment
He's importing infinite retards to vote for him forever.
he won the election, he began begging for more money.
There it is.
2 months ago, where I told supporters across the city to stop donating. And today, I am asking them to start once again.
Again, returning to the TV to panhandle his peasants.
You've already been incredible. We've raised more than $1 million in
That's not
just 2
enough.
weeks. Our average donation is around $77, and more than 12,000 of you have donated so far, which is much lower than the last administration's transaction. We need to raise $4 million in total.
As this has basically become the thing he's most known for.
True.
Even today,
Oh,
again,
that's the one I just showed.
begging for funds.
$1 trillion here. The one thing I'm warming up to is the idea of a fully funded transition.
And the worst part about his
Oh,
constant
God,
calls
it's
for
tiring.
cash is he wants those donations through Act Blue.
Bro, I didn't even know that. He's raising the money through Act Blue. That's an actual just Democrat siphon. It's the Democrat whorehouse donation link.
Meaning, even if you voted for the anti-establishment liberal leader, he's still demanding you give a cut to the mainstream Democrats.
I mean, to be fair, the left hates him now. He's an enemy of both the left and the right. Congratulations, bro. The only people that are still supporting you are the retards and the Islamists, which are getting free buses.
But his supporters are numb to disappointment now.
Socialist Mamdani charged $13 for a beer at his victory.
Okay,
I saw that. People were...
finally, I'm not even joking. That is valid criticism. Okay, like straight up. Obviously, Nux Taku is idiotic and, you know, he sucks. Okay, but that is real. Like, actually, okay, I agree with that. Zohran shouldn't use Act Blue. He ran as an anti-establishment Democratic figure, and he should remain that way. But anyway, he's used Act Blue for a long time. We've talked about this. Like, this is just kind of old news. Okay, I still like Zohran. I'm not saying that, I hate Zohran now. Okay, but this is legitimate, valid criticism. It's just coming from a deeply racist place, which is Nux
So mad. So we voted for the guy that wants to give away free everything and give us free thing at his own party? Correct. Because communism is not actually a solution to anything. It's crazy.
As at his victory party, this socialist was selling $13 beers. The only thing fast and free about
Dude, they act like Zohran was making money off of the beer sales. You understand that the venues charge this, okay? And yes, it's expensive. Yeah, they buying drinks be expensive. I went to a random fucking bar in my home state of Alabama, okay? And you wanna know how much a White Claw was? $6. $6 for a fucking White Claw. A regular sized White Claw, man. $6. Like that shit's crazy. Okay, and that was years ago. Right, that was like 3 or 4 years ago. So anyway.
Mamdani is watching the left melt down about how they've been duped again.
The left is for the record, there are leftists that are calling him a Zionist already because he agreed to meet with Trump. Like, you don't understand how incredible it is watching the left lose their mind about this shit.
By another Bernie Sanders-esque Democrat. As first they attack
Nobody
the
is
establishment,
saying that.
then they bow to the establishment, and then they make millions in the background.
There it is.
As first he attacks Trump,
My administration would be Donald Trump's worst nightmare.
but then immediately bent the knee.
I intend to make it clear to President Trump that I will work with him on any agenda that benefits New Yorkers.
Somehow becoming...
I love this side by side, man. It's so good. I will be Trump's worst nightmare. Anyway, Mr. Daddy Trump, can I please kiss your ring an extra time?
best buddies with somebody allegedly a Nazi. As just like
That's
how the...
not really backtracking though, because he consistently puts New York first. Okay, that's it. Like he said specifically, I will work with Trump on anything that benefits New Yorkers. Okay. It doesn't mean he loves Trump. He's like he's buddies with Trump now. It's fucking ridiculous that they're trying to do this. It's such a stupid narrative. How do people believe this shit, man? How do they believe this? Zoran bends the knee to Trump? What?
Right, he calls him a fascist.
Trump doesn't know what fucking day it is. He is literally demented, okay? Don't act like he's playing anyone like a fiddle, okay? That is not happening anymore.
A dictator, a Nazi, Hitler too, and then he immediately sucks up to him the moment he wins. Yeah, we know.
The glory days of Donald Trump are well over, okay? They've been over for a long time, in my
We
opinion.
know, it was all a slogan. We know. Welcome to politics. Y'all got tricked. The only thing Mamdani cares about is, in my opinion, infinite importation of Muslims and protecting them. In my opinion, it's the only thing he cares about. Communism was just the Trojan horse for him to trick you retards into voting for him.
Activists don't actually...
The rest was just politics. That's the only thing I think he actually cares about.
think ICE will kidnap them. Mamdani doesn't actually think the democratically elected president is a fascist dictator. It's all for show because they don't know any better. The problem being, reality is still destroying the city, no matter how many bumps...
No matter what his actual allegiance is or whatever he actually thinks and what was just politics that he was playing up for the retard vote, the reality is New York is becoming a shithole fast. It was already a bit of a shithole. It's actually becoming a nightmare hellscape. All right, you have these protests fighting ICE agents, throwing trash cans at them, stopping everyone from going to work. The entire country, it's a swamp.
For sticker solutions, you patch on it, as these voters have no idea what they brought upon themselves.
Sharia law starts now.
Oh yes, Sharia law, let's go! Get back to me in 4 years.
Absolutely. Zoran Mamdani.
As sadly, without that specific demographic...
We love Sharia law, guys. Sharia law is so cool and hip because we love all these other cultures. You know, honestly, if I went to Egypt, I would also want to get raised.
She was making fun of you. She was making fun of you. There's no Sharia law in New York. Dude, it's so crazy. It's so crazy to me. He's actually like, yeah, they're being serious. They really want Sharia law. They really want it. Like, again, who believes this shit? Who believes it? How?
99% of people. It's cultural enriching when you get Egyptian raped. All right, America raped, not so much. All right, that's very uncool. All right, that's patriarchy talk. But Egyptian raped, that's just cultural enrichment, guys.
graphic, he never would have won the election.
Yep, it's the white woman graphic because he literally played to the empathy cards. He did. Women are inherently more empathetic than men are. I think that they were designed that way by God or nature, whatever you want to say. Because women are supposed to be, getting married and having children and taking care of their children. And when their child cries, you want to see your wife miserable that your child is crying and she wants to do, and you see it on her face. You see it on her face that she wants to do anything in her power to get her baby to be happy. She would do anything in that moment. And honestly, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. It really is. That is why God gave women empathy. Now, modern women, thanks to feminism, modern radical feminism, are murdering their own babies. So literally, there's 1 million abortions a year in America. So where does that empathy go? They are naturally empathetic people. Where does the empathy go? Well, it goes to the immigration of infinite Muslims. Because they went to college and they were taught by their Qatar-funded college. Because Qatar and Saudi Arabia, between the two of them, they funded colleges for over $5 billion. So, from their Qatar-funded radical leftoid college, they're taught murder your own babies. Actually, Sharia law is actually pretty freeing, actually.
But that same exact demographic is going to be the most violent...
There it is, absolutely. You're the victims. It's like you vote to import infinite illegals, and then you say that it's so unsafe to run the streets. Yeah, we know.
...impacted group. I just hope when they eventually flee the city for safety, they don't vote in those same soft-on crimes.
Of course they will. Of course they will, absolutely. The actual people that are well off enough to leave the city and set up shop in Florida or Texas or wherever they move to, they're literally just going to vote blue. That's why, if you look at Austin, Texas, it's basically a blue city. And the reason, even though it's in Texas, it's basically a blue city because all of the leftoids in California voted in the leftist socialist policies, turned California into a high-tax shithole, and they all moved to Austin, Texas. to get low tax, and now they're all still voting blue. So yes, this is going to happen, and it's a nightmare that it's allowed to happen.
I'm socialist policies.
Yeah, great video. Definitely check out Decoy Voice. I'll link him in the description. But yeah, anyway, that's what's going on in New York City. You got the retards, retard on retard violence. The only winner is the people that can sit in the shadows and breathe and fuck each other and fuck their cousins and create an inbred population of people more than happy to conquer us because we're too retarded to actually solve our own problems ourselves. Wait, you think I'm referring to Muslims? That's pretty Islamophobic, all right? Not to be Islamophobic here or anything, but I actually don't think you should fuck your cousins, especially if they're children. I know. Don't want to be Islamophobic. So I'm just going to say very, very clearly, all right? Don't fuck your 13-year-old cousin. No offense to Muslims.